Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you. I have materials for this trading. I have my scissors, accessories, needle and thread. I have my mako. This is the main thing that is used to make Zahra caps. I have my raw silk fabric, and then I have matching thread and needle. Okay, yes, we are ready to go. For the body of for the main Zahra cap, this is the measurement I am using. For the head circumference, I am using 24 inches. You can see 24 inches. And for the length like this, I'm using 18 inches. 24 inches when I open it, so that you can understand well. Look at it. 24 inches. And for this side is 18 inches. You can see the head circumference 24 inches, the wideness is 18 inches. So when I fold it together like this, it will be 24 inches. And please note, this place must stretch. The place you are using as your head circumference, it must stretch. Look at it. It must stretch. This side does not stretch. This place, it must stretch. So let's go over to our, before we go to our sewing machine, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to notch the middle of my fabric. The 24-inch part, I'm going to notch the middle. The 24-inch part, where it is stretchy, I'm going to notch the middle. And then I'm going to mark the middle of my mako. When I do that, I'll set it aside. Then I already have fabric for my bow here. This is my bow. Let me open it and measure so you can see. Measurement for my bow is 13 inches. You can see 13 inches by 20 inches. Let me see. Okay, 20.5 inch. 13 inches by 20.5 inch. And then I have measurement for my hook. This hook is what is going to be holding this accessory down at the back of the Zahra cap. So for my hook, I have here 6 inches by 4 inches. So let me mark my Zahra cap at the middle so that we can place it midpoint on midpoint. We are going to place it like this. Midpoint on midpoint. We are going to mark the midpoint of this. Let me get my chalk. We are going to mark the midpoint and make sure it is standing midpoint to midpoint. We need it to be midpoint to midpoint. So I didn't measure my mako at first. The measurement for my mako is 18 inches. You can see 18 inches by almost 3 inches. I use almost 3 inches, or you can use 3 inch as you like it. So I've marked the middle of my mako. I mark the middle of my mako, and then I bring my fabric, the 24 inches by 18 inches. This is the head circumference part. This is where I'm going to fix the mako. So this is what I do. I'll just fold this in, making sure that the midpoint is, look at it, midpoint to midpoint. So what I want to do now is I want to sew it on my sewing machine, but so I won't confuse, so the mako won't move, I'm going to pin it down. Look at it. I want to pin it to stop the mako from moving. I don't want it to move past the midpoint where I marked. I'll just pin it down. So I'll just go ahead and sew this now. So I'm going to sew this. I want to do now is to seal in this part where I pinned. I will sew straight like this to stop the marco from moving. I don't want the marco to move. I'm going to sew the parts where I pinned. I'm going to remove the pin. I don't want the marco to move. I'm going to sew it. I'm done with that. So the next thing I will do now is, see, my marco is safely inside my fabric. So the next thing I'll do now is I'm going to fold this. I'll fold this. After folding this like this, I'll make sure I smooth it well. Then I'll fold it like this. I hope you can see what I am doing. I'll fold it like this. I want to sew it on this side. So the normal head circumference that I use for stretchy Zahra cap is 22 inches. 22 inches on fold should be 11 inches. So I'm going to measure 11 inches and sew it on the 11-inch part. Look at what you do. Like this. To this point, 11 inches. So this is where I'm going to sew. So here is what you do here. On this place, I want to curve this. I curve this at this point. I'm not going to go straight. I'll just go like this. Not too much curve, just a little curve. I'll cut this off. I'm going to trim this. Then I'll take to my weaving machine and weave it, because I need it to be neat. I need it to be a neat work. Then after this is settled, I'll place this aside. The cap is ready. The only thing for us now is to gather it. I'll show you how I gather it and sew. So this our hook. I'm going to sew our hook on the 4-inch side. I will sew this hook on the 4-inch side. I'll close it up like this. Don't forget the measurement for the hook. I said 4-inch wideness and 6-inch length. And then for our bow, don't forget I said our bow is 20.5 by 13. So on the 13-inch part, I'm going to be folding it like this. This is the 20.5 part. You can see this is the 20.5 part by length. So I will be folding the 20.5 part length into two like this, and then I will sew it. Rawsilk fabric is usually thicker than each other. This one is not that thick, but this is the only gold that we can get at the market, so sometimes we don't choose. So I'll be sewing this round. I want to leave a little space at the middle here that I will use to turn it inside out. So I'm through with sewing this is the bow. The bow is quite big. If the fabric is a little thick, it will be better for the bow, so it can at least stand. So I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim it, and then I will turn it to the other side. That is the right side. Don't forget the measurement for the bow is 20 inch by length and 13 inches wideness. So what I'll do is I'm going to seal this place where I used to turn the fabric inside out. I want to seal it. So our bow is ready. I'm going to turn this to the hook that I sew. I'm going to turn it to the right side. So my bow is ready, my hook is ready, my Zahra cap is ready. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to gather my Zahra cap. To gather all my caps, I use this shoemaker thread. This is the thread that shoemakers use to mend shoes and make shoes. I don't know, but this thread is very strong. That's why I use it to gather my caps. So at least there won't be any problem of my cap loosed at the back. So I'm going to start from this point. Look at this point. You can feel the beginning of the sewing here. I'm going to start from here. I will gather. After gathering it, I'll tie it. But one rule of this thread is that when you are using this thread, you must use the lighter. You must use the lighter to finish it off, because the thread can open anyhow, so it won't lose. This is exactly what I am talking about. Please make sure you weave your cap. I'm not doing this because of this training, but definitely I will later do this. So after gathering it, I want to turn it inside out. This is what you get. After turning it inside out, this is what you get. You can see the Zahra cap is ready. This is the cap. If you just cool down, calm down, you will get this. It's quite easy to make. So the next step is we are going to the bow at the back. We are going to be fixing the bow at the back of the cap. So this is the bow. Remember, we've sewed the bow. So I'm going to get the midpoint of the bow. I'm going to get the midpoint of the bow, and then I'm going to be folding it at the midpoint. This is the midpoint. Just watch my fingers. I'll do it like this.
So you can add
I'll do it like this.
anything inside this
At the midpoint.
if you want it to be add.
I want to make sure
you can add warden, you can add fiber, you can add foam inside your own foam.
So
if you want it to be add and you want it to stand, you can even put crinoline inside if you want your own bow to stand.
So this is what I'll do. I will tack this at the middle here. I might not be able to do it at once, so I'll just take it a little at a time. It's not quite easy to tack at once, so I'm just going to be doing it small. Please make sure you are on the middle. You can actually use your chalk to mark the middle, so you can know where the midpoint is. When you have locks like this on your thread, you have to go back, straighten it so that the thread can be straight. So you can see I have something that looks like a bow now. So I'm going to tie this. I just want it to form a bow. No hard this thing on that. So now my hook comes to play here. My hook and my accessory comes to play here. I'm going to take my accessory. Look at it. Look at my hook. I'm going to put this hook into my accessory like this. They actually sell this at the market. You can ask them. It comes in, I think, mostly gold and silver. I've not seen it in so many colors like that. Look at it. Look at what I have here. So I will just sew this on my machine. I want to seal it in. Don't mind me, I like to double stitch. That is my own assurance. I like to double stitch. So after doing this, the next step is I want to fix it on my Zahra cap. So I'm going to be placing it like this. Don't worry, I'm going to be giving you the full picture of the final result. This one is not wuru to the answer. You will see the full picture on the mannequin. Here's my thread. Where's my thread? So here's my thread. How will we tack this? The first thing I will do is I'm going to take this in through here. What I want to do now is what I mostly call invisible tacking. So I will just place this here. Where do I want this to be? Am I satisfied? Look at where I placed it. So I'm going to be tacking to the cap. Please, I do a lot of tackings. I do a lot of tackings because I don't want my clients to wear my cap for 1 or 2 times and then the thing will start scattering. I don't want it. And then after I tack, I use the glue gun. I use it to do the finished work. Please ensure you tack well. Ensure you tack well. So after tacking and tacking and tacking, this is what I will get. Look at it. I hope you can see it. Look at the top of the Zahra cap, looking very neat. Look at the bow. So after tacking very well, the next thing I will do is, this is my glue gun. This is the glue gun, and then you get the candle gun. I'll plug it to the electricity, and then when the candle inside melts, I will use it to gum. I'll just open this place like this. I'll just put the glue round it like this. I will add a little pressure. The glue gun actually gums faster than the tube gum. As we go further, as we do other classes, I will show you the difference between the glue gun and the tube gum. So I will add pressure. As I add pressure like this, then my Zahra cap is ready, just like that. Thank you for watching, and please, if you practice, so you will know where you don't understand. When you practice, we can talk about where you don't understand.